Welcome to the journey. I am Reverend Bobby, and today I have with me Mr. Larry Kidd. How are you doing today, Larry?
I'm doing fine, Bobby. Thank you.
And while Larry's doing fine and I'm doing fine, I want you to do fine and subscribe to the channel. That's Gospel of Robert. Put the at sign in front, capital GOSPELOF, capital ROBERT. Gospel of Robert. No spaces on the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. So, Larry, tell the people a little bit about you, man, and bring me up to date. Because we friends from a long time ago, y'all.
Yes, we are. Okay. Well, like I said, today is a good day for me. I was telling you something about myself, right? Okay, right now I am 73, no, 72 years old. I'll be 73 this year. And I've been knowing the Reverend since about 71, 72, something like that. And he's been a good friend to me over these 50 years or more right now.
50 plus,
Unbelievable, unbelievable friendship. But anyway, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I still live in Los Angeles, California. And I don't know if we're going to be talking about spiritualism. I want to let you know that I've always been respecter of religions, but I don't belong to any one particular religion. I'm more like a spiritual person because from what I've learned about religion is all religions always are pointing to God, but you have a lot of different messengers of that. You have a lot of different messengers professing, I mean, telling you how to become more God-like. Different messengers, but all of them basically have the same message. Be
now
good to
hold
yourself.
on, put a pin in it for a minute because I give an example like this. Religions are like a bicycle wheel with the spokes on a bicycle wheel. Some of them cross and touch, some of them never touch at all, but they all connect at the hub, which is God. So
Exactly.
that's just an analogy for what you were saying. Sorry to interrupt you. Continue on, sir.
That's fine. Okay, but now today I am more spiritual than I have ever been in my entire life. For the last 2 years, um, I've been sober, and it's cleared my thinking so I could become more, have a more conscious contact with my spirit and the spirit that, how can I say? I'm getting at a loss of words right now, but I'm developing more, spiritualism more and more each day as I stay sober,
Now,
and it's
now
a very good feeling.
is the spiritualism you developing helping you with your sobriety, and what are some of the things that it brings to you to help you continue staying the course?
Basically, it's cleared up my mind. My mind is clear, and I'm praying more than I've ever prayed in my life. I meditate more than I've ever meditated in my life. I mean, these last 2 years have just, I've seen a lot of growth in myself.
So with the growth that you see in yourself, how satisfying is that for you?
Very satisfying, very satisfying. And I try to help others by being an example that their life can be better as well.
Being that example, I know I had a friend, she was worried about if she could keep a church for a year, and she did. And I asked her, I said, well, what was it that, drove you on? She said, well, number one, I became an example to the people of what I thought, a person should be. And it felt really good for me to do that. How good does it make you feel giving back now that you got your mind clear, you know, um, like you say you have?
Well, I participate more in the meetings that I go to. I accept commitments and leadership positions when necessary for me to do so. And it gives me a good feeling. I'm also become more giving to those that have been giving to me without me even knowing it. I don't know if that sounds clear, but I feel good by giving. It
It,
makes me feel good to give.
it's clear because people give to us just by being decent to us and that kind of stuff that we don't all the time acknowledge. But when we
Yeah.
take a real look at it, they don't be having to be treating us all good and stuff. They could be crazy like everybody else. But but doesn't that speak to you, Larry, the man, and how they treat you because of the man they respect you as? I mean, all through it all, upside down, right side up, everything.
I agree. I try to I try to be respectful of others, and hopefully they could be respectful of me. I mean, that's the way I've been living my life for a very long time. From grade school all the way up till today, I've tried to be a very respectful person to others.
And that's what I most remember. When we first started hanging out in the ATL at Morehouse. You know, a respectful, good dude reminded me of, had a lot of those same attributes and characteristics that I had growing up in a whole different city, but that
Right.
could meld together so we could run. How was that experience when you first got down there and making friends and that kind of stuff? Of course, we friends, but making friends and stuff away from home, away from your comfort zone.
Well, I'm telling you, that was the first time, not really the first time, because I had been to Mississippi once before I came to Atlanta, right? But just moving from Los Angeles to Atlanta, whole different culture, whole
Culture
different
shock, what?
scenery. Say what?
Culture shock.
Yeah, yeah, it was a culture shock. I mean, I grew up in South Central, Compton area of Los Angeles, and very different than very different. I had been to Chicago before I went to Atlanta. In fact, after I finished high school, I came to Chicago for a month that summer in 1970. That was a culture shock too. Seeing all these tall buildings everywhere, passing down the expressway, you guys call it, and seeing miles of projects. I couldn't believe that shit when I saw it. Excuse the language.
That's okay.
Um, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But then going to Atlanta, let me say this. Before I came to Atlanta, I was out of high school a year before I came to college. Okay, working, uh, just being the everyday person, working, go and coming home, working, coming home, living with my parents. But I wanted more in my life, and I applied to Morehouse College, got accepted, and then coming down there, the thing I most remember is I'm going to be here for a while if I'm going to do the right thing.
Right.
Can I stick it out? And I just met some people at the very first day. because we didn't even have a dorm room yet. There's about 50 of us standing around waiting trying to find out where we gonna live. They had to make some friends real quick when they said, hey, time to pack up and get into a spot.
Right.
And then, I don't know, just a socialization that we all were going through that first year. You had already been there, but
Yeah.
I had to get socialized quick. So it was a good experience for me. Another thing about when I got my housing, it was on the ITC campus, the Interdenominational Theological Center. And on the third floor were the students that were attending the center. So we got to talk about religion in different religions or different parts of it. I mean, guys from different churches. I'll put it that way. Most of them were Christian churches. We got a chance to talk with these guys a lot about God and their beliefs and the practices of their church. It was interesting for me because I had never been in that atmosphere before.
And Dave was a little bit older. They have some girls down there too, but they were a little bit older. So they had Bruce used to work in the cafeteria freshman year.
Okay.
For his work study. So we would go over there and the girls would be trying to snatch our little young selves up. But it gives you a perspective even throughout the Christian denominations as to how people look at things and how people look at themselves and stuff. You know, even though I do what I do, I'm more spiritual in the perspective because that's the touch that heals. And it'd be people out here to be needing help. So you gotta love them throughout their stuff, man. And and I know you said you feel good in giving. What and I think we was brought up that way, but what is the most charge you get when you are out and giving of yourself?
Well, I'm hoping that what I am giving is going to be beneficial to that person. I mean, there's been times in my adult life, over the last 50 years or so, where I only have one child. Mm-hmm. I've only had one wife. I have had some girlfriends. But the thing is a lot of times when you're in that type of situation, you're being asked to give sometimes. Sometimes you have to give sometimes you may not even feel like giving that. I mean, like money, attention, comfort, whatever that person wants you to give. Sometimes you're not able to meet that at the exact time. Mm-hmm. So now I have to be aware of when someone is feeling needy and needs me to give to them, without putting strings onto it. You know what I'm saying? I give more freely now than I ever have in my life. My child needs something. I don't hesitate. I didn't hesitate to do it when she was growing up. I don't hesitate. I don't hesitate to do it now. During my marriage, what can I say? Sometimes I would be hesitant, but sometimes I'll be hesitant, but I knew I had to give.
Yeah.
I knew I had to give if I wanted to keep the marriage together, but unfortunately, it didn't last forever. But that person is still my friend.
Oh yeah,
and I will give to her when she's in need, and sometimes when she's not in need.
Yeah, it's like with me and Sharon, it was the unconditional love that was there the whole time. That because we was cool when I would come to Cali, man. She always has some gumbo base in the fridge. So she could make me some gumbo because man, she cooked and that kind of stuff. And as we talk, She said it wasn't really you. It was, my extracurricular activities that got in the way during the time. But
Right.
when she left out of here, it was like that unconditional love that caught me up on their life in California for the last 20 years while she had pipes and stuff all in her mouth going. Well, I understood everything through that love that she was trying to express to me. And
Right.
so tell me something about that unconditional love that's now coming to the forefront in you, remaking the man, and how you feel about that.
Okay. If I have to think about my brother. My brother passed in 2021.
That was the one you was taking
And
care of or
yeah,
looking
and I
out
took
for?
care of my brother for over 20 years.
Right.
You know, I mean, I could have been bitter or resentful about having to do such a thing, but I wasn't going to abandon my brother to the street. Not at all. So I took on that responsibility of, of taking care of him, or no, I wouldn't say, I'll say assisting him.
Right.
Okay. Because of his brain damage, I had to assist him. He couldn't live on his own, so I damn sure wasn't going to abandon him to the street. So that was giving. That was a lot of giving, and because of that, I feel like I'm able, to have this feeling of giving for others when they really need it.
Well, you kind of did that for your brother, and it takes a lot. Um,
Yeah,
it takes a lot, and that's a heck of a thing. So how has the taking care of him helped you in being available for other people, in knowing the struggle that some other people go through? Um, that ain't, and now we have some struggles, but sometimes they ain't been as bad as ours. So you, you
right.
know, you know how be ready to help and give guidance, because we the elders now, praise the Lord, and we have to give some sense and sensibility to people. How that make you feel? How when you do
I
that?
I'll tell you. Um, I have a cousin, a young cousin. She may be 30 years old. She has three kids, and I don't think she's being a very good mother to them. I mean, her oldest child is 12 years old,
Hmm.
and for a time there, he was barely going to school. She has two other little girls, one 5 or 6. She should have been in school a year ago. She just now in school.
Uh-huh.
And the other one's about 3 or 4. She's not getting any preschooling. And the mom and the dad, they're not, I don't know, they're not raising kids the way I would be raising mine. I'll put it that way. So I tried to step in. I showed some concern of saying, what do you need me to do to help you? And she just tells me, I got this.
Well,
Okay, let me step back.
you have to at that point,
Yeah. I
because
mean, it was hurting me for a while, but I just had to pray on it and
yeah,
say, hey, I have to do some acceptance right here, you know?
yeah, you do, and it's hard watching
Yeah,
people you care about shoot themselves in the foot,
right.
right? But that's kind of their life to do with it the way they feel that they should. Now we could make suggestions and submissions, but the bottom line is that's up to them. And how easy has it been for you to let that go?
It wasn't easy. It took me a while. I did a lot of prayer on it. I had to tell you that. I had to pray about it because it was bugging me. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It was had me upset. I wouldn't say it got me so upset mentally, but my stomach would churn, you know? It was hurting.
Yeah.
But all I had to do was just keep praying on it and um, respect her decision for me to leave it alone. You know, telling me I got this.
Yeah. And I
I
know
had to accept that and respect it too.
it's hard to keep our hands off of stuff when we see it going south.
Right.
Because we went south and we know what it's all about. You know, but sometimes every once in a while I found in my 72 years of still being here that you just gotta back up and leave people alone and let them do it the way that they do it, because that's what we was about, doing our life the way we did it. So you've been pretty happy with yourself lately about how things is going?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to going to homecoming this year. 50 years homecoming. Class of 75. 50-year homecoming. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, I'm finding a lot more. I'm getting, let's say, stronger or better with living by myself and not bothering anybody. I
And
still
not
have
having
friends.
anybody bother you.
That could be it.
So how is it? How is it living by yourself? You know, we older dudes. I do it. You know, and it's okay. I don't feel like
Well,
doing things sometimes, but it's been okay. How's it going for you?
it's going good. I try to find something interesting to do on my time alone. Listening to music, been reading a little bit more. Um, TV, I try not to watch so much. And now that the weather is much better, uh, I'll be sure to take a walk every day. Got to get some walking in every day. And should just enjoy that God has me here for another day every day. You know,
Speak, speaking
be
of the
grateful.
weather, speaking of the weather out there, when Gianna first moved out there, we was talking one time, and she was all excited, talking about, "Daddy, we eat lunch outside." Because you know, ain't no outside eating in Chicago. It was so rainy and messy up here. But being a California native and stuff, you glad you still home? You glad you came back?
uh, yeah, because I'm more familiar. Don't get me wrong. Um, I like Atlanta. Maybe one day I will move back there before my time is up. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I don't have any future plans of being in Chicago right now.
Hey, I can understand it, brother. You know, I'm just a hood rat, so it vibes real good with me still, you know. Still got boys from the Boy Scouts and stuff where we grew up, so right now it serves me well.
Yeah,
Uh, well.
that reminds me that I went this past Saturday. I went to a men's alumni meeting from my high school, and this
Where'd
with
you
the
go?
guy.
Did you go to Dorsey?
No, I went to Locke High School,
Okay.
Elaine Leroy Locke, named after
Okay.
the Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, the guys in the alumni chapter I belong to, this we call it the founders group because it's from the very first years of the high school. We were the first class to go through the 3 years, 3 full years of Locke High School, 10, 11, and 12th grade. Okay. And so everybody's over 70 years old in the
Right.
group. So we get together once a month on Saturdays and try to find ways to raise money for scholarships. So we just planned a car and bike show for later this month. I think it's the last weekend of the month, and hopefully we'll get enough people to register their cars and pay for their cars to be there, that we could have, get at least $1,000 towards scholarship for
Man,
high school kids.
man, you should head over to the barrio, man. You know them boys got some cars go up and down and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. They'd be glad to come and show off their machines.
Oh yeah, there's some guys in the alumni. They're in different car clubs, so I'm sure we'll have some Chicano brothers showing up. Yeah, it should be fun.
Well, that's another example of how you're looking to give. You
Yes,
know,
it is. Yes,
because
it is.
you know people need. It's a lot of crazy stuff out here. It looks like it's getting even more crazy, and then here we are, the elders. They're supposed to be the level-headed people now,
Right.
to share. And we got a lot of experience up under our belt, up, down, round and round, dark night of the soul, everything. Quite a wealth of information resides within us. And how do you feel now that you walking in that wisdom? Done took care of your business for yourself, cleaned yourself up, got your head right spiritually, and now you that walking wisdom and stuff. My boy made me a stick, made me a staff. I seen it. And he said it'll be ready in a little bit, so I could not fall on my knee no more and look cool. But how do it feel having all that wisdom all residing in one place inside of you now?
It's amazing feeling, man. It really is. I am so grateful just for every day that I'm here, man. I'm grateful, and I try to do something positive. That's something positive every day. That's my goal every day, to stay positive, and encourage others to look on the bright side instead of staying in the dark. You know, don't stand in the shadows. Let's step into the light.
If,
That's what
if
I'm all about.
if it was one thing as we wind down this segment of the journey, I'm gonna get you to come back now that you are comfortable and stuff. Uh, if it was one thing you would say to people when they hit the wall and don't know what to do at that point, what's one thing you would say to them so they could persevere and endure?
I would say, look inside of yourself, see what what you have done to put yourself in this situation, and ask God for help. Ask God for help. That's what I
And,
would.
and real quick, you said something about the R word, responsibility. How important is that in the overall healing for you to take responsibility of your mess?
Well, you have to take responsibility for your actions. Well, one thing I've learned about action is you should think before you act.
That
Think
would be a
before
good
you
thing, wouldn't it?
act.
It'll solve a whole lot of stuff. So, as we wind down on the journey today with Larry Kidd and Reverend Bobby, let me remind you to subscribe. Gospel of Robert on YouTube. Capital GOSPELOF, capital ROBERT, no spaces. Put the @ in front. Go to the page and subscribe. And from me and Larry Kidd, my buddy over 50, we hope, we pray, we demand from the universe that you journey well from here. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Say bye bye. Bye bye from me.